Peter, take it away.
Thanks. I am so excited to be here, guys. So it's going to take me a little while to get used to kind of doing this and this. So if I'm not looking on your side of the room, please don't feel like I'm missing out. I'm just getting used to this. So this is our friend Rob Otto. He is our mascot. So we just tried to bring a little fun and levity to our business. And so today we're going to talk about 3 trends. So first let's start about what I'm not going to talk about. So first thing I'm not going to talk about is delivery drones. Anybody heard about this? So
You don't want that poop.
I'm not sure, like, that is a crazy concept, you know? Has anybody thought about this? Anybody got a drone here? Fly around? Yeah?
My husband does.
Will it pick up pizzas, or is it not quite that big?
He hasn't quite figured it all out. It's his newest tool.
I've got a kid version.
Here's the next thing we're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about VR. Hey, has anybody tried that yet?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yep.
Which deal did you do? Oh, you did with your phone?
Yeah.
Have you done the zombie shootout one?
Not yet. I
That
haven't
is
got any of the game,
freaky.
the hard games.
It's freaky. It scared me. It was crazy. So we're not going to talk about that. It has nothing to do with real marketing trends, maybe someday. And we're not going to talk about Bitcoin. Who's heard of Bitcoin? Everybody? Yep, we're not going to talk about it today. So I have a couple friends that are into this stuff, and that's all they want to talk about is this stuff. So one day, you know, those 3 things might be worth talking about. But today I want to talk about 3 obvious digital marketing trends. And they are smartphones, social media, and online reviews. So the reason we're talking about obvious digital marketing trends is that in our line of work, these are the 3 things that we're spending a lot of time working with our clients on these days. And they're obvious. I mean, these things aren't new. They've been around for a while. And they're just now at a point where they're really having a major impact on the way that we market and do business every day. Not just market, but just conduct business. So the first thing we're going to talk about is smartphones. So the ubiquity of smartphones. Here's some of the facts. 220 million smartphones are in use in the US right now. Raise your hand if you don't have a smartphone. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we all have smartphones, and guess what? Our customers have smartphones too. And they really want to interact with us using a smartphone. So one of the things to think about, one of the impacts of this 220 million smartphones is now Google is reporting that 60% of web searches are happening on phones. And our own internal data shows that the searches that are being done for the paid searches where people click on Google AdWords and things like that, 80%, up to 80%, not in all cases, but in some cases we have up to 80% of the clicks are coming from mobile device to the business. So what's the impact of that? Well, the impact is that you got to have a mobile website. Now, I'm sure all of you have that, so this might be obvious. Now, I'm in a BNI group. I don't know if you guys know what BNI is.
Yes.
But this is a guy in my group, and I gave my presentation this week. He's an electrician, so I kind of threw him under the bus, but I pixelated it out, so nobody in the group knew who it was except him. Anyway, so this is what his website looks on my phone. So I did that this week. I'm like, Frankie, your site, what's going on here, dude? You're missing out on business. So if your site's looking like that on mobile device, you know, we got issues. I doubt that's the case for most of you guys, but that's something to bear in mind. The other thing, the other impact on this that I think is even more important is because everybody's using their phone, they want to take action now, right? So, A, your website must be easy to use, that everybody knows that. B, your phone, the number on your website needs to be click to call. And we recommend that you use a text us button so visitors on your site can get text messages. And I'll show you what that looks like. So this is our website here on a mobile phone. And so what we've done is we've added these buttons to the bottom of the site. So there's call us, and if you click on that, it'll just call, and those are always there. And then text us. So there's a couple things you can do with the text us button. If you're just using your mobile phone to do most of your booking and things like that in your business, you can have the text us button just send a text directly to your mobile device. If you have a dispatcher or you're working with a bunch of people, we have platforms, and there's tons of companies out there that have different platforms that'll allow you to do texting on a web browser. So you don't have to actually dedicate a phone to do the texting.
So a support rep could text back?
Yes, it's exactly the way they're using it. And then there's also, things you can do bulk texting and things like that with these platforms. So again, people want to take action right away. So this is an example of some real interactions. We do the marketing for Aussie Petmobile, which is a mobile pet grooming franchise. And their websites, we put this little button on there, and I clicked on it. I typed in this message on my phone, and then this message over here, I don't know if you can see this, this is an actual part of a dashboard. I had to shrink it down to get it on there. This was actually a text that one of our franchises received this morning, and I blocked out the number, but it says I have a 7.5 pound Pom, 12 pound Pom, a bunch of pets, a bunch of dogs, and I, do you service my area and things like that. And so they're able to just hit this reply button right there and then reply back to the person right away. So that's an example of the immediacy that people are looking for. And like it or not, people don't necessarily want to talk on the phone as much. Given the option, they're going to want to text more and more and more. So we got to get used to it as marketers and business owners. So the number 2 trend that's pretty obvious, but I think it's worth pointing out, is that social networks are ready for business. And I've been in online marketing for 22 plus years. I started my own agency 5 years ago. And when we started, there were some people in my business that were saying, drop everything and just do social. And at the time I said, I'm not sure, because Google AdWords is still dollar for dollar the best way that you can drive traffic to your website and things like that and get new business. And so we kind of held off, but one of the things that we've started working on really diligently in the last 9 months is Facebook and Instagram campaigns for our clients. And the reason that that is happening is now 79% of US adults who are online use Facebook. So again, who in this room doesn't have Facebook? Probably a couple people. Yeah, okay. All right. If you're married, I'm assuming your wives use Facebook, perhaps? No? Okay, so we do have...
My wife does not.
You're part of the 21% that doesn't. So just to put this in perspective, look at this number here. Only 11% of U.S. online adults used any social networking 10 years ago, right? So the growth rate really, 10 years really isn't that long. It's pretty amazing. So based on our findings now, we're basically telling our clients that they must have a social media strategy unless they are purely in the B2B space. That's the only exception. But if they are trying to work with consumers, they need to have strategy. So here's some examples of some things that you can do with the social strategy. So this is an example of a boosted post that we created for for Aussie Petmobile. This happens to be locally here.
Did you create it intentionally to boost it?
Yes. Yes. And so one of the things you'll notice here is that it's got a really nice graphic on it that catches people's attention, and it also has a Book Now button on it that leads directly to the booking app that they have for new customers. So we see social media as a way to reach new customers because you can now target them through location, through their interests. You can even see, like, if they like a certain show, you can target a certain show. Like if they like, what's the Fixer Upper, for example. You know, if you're in home remodeling and you want those type of people, you can target them. You can also target gender, age, and there is some income targeting as well. So there's a lot of ways to reach new customers through the targeting available in the boosting of the posts and the advertising. The other thing you can do, though, is you can reach current customers through likes, if they've already liked your page, or this little thing called an email match. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. How many of you have a list, an email list of your customers? You know, a lot of you do. Okay, so what you can do is you can actually take that list, feed it into Facebook, and it's not going to say like us, it's not going to send them a thing that says like, it's just going to create a custom audience. Success story. This is one of our clients who has a kitchen and bath remodeling place. He didn't want to go to the home show because it costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time and effort. And so what we agreed to do was to promote an open house for a showroom that he had just remodeled. So we created Facebook, Instagram, and then we used Google remarketing ads as well. So people who had already been to his website saw some ads that looked similar to this, but we also promoted it on Facebook to a new audience, people who had never been to his website, maybe never even heard of him, and we focused on the area surrounding his business. So we did like a 10-mile radius around his business, so it's very concentrated. And the reason that we wanted to do this, or he wanted us to do this, was that he wasn't going to the home show, but he has these salespeople that have to eat, right? So he's like, hey, we need to get appointments. So we had this event on 2 days, and on the first day I called him up and I said, Rob, how's it going? He goes, well, we had 5 new couples show up at our showroom. This is on a Friday. And so I'm like, you know, I don't know how that result is. Saturday, he texted me at about 3 in the afternoon, and he said, Peter, I don't know what you did, but our showroom has been full all day long. So it does work. And he spent, on this campaign, he spent about $1,200 versus going to the home show would have been 10 grand.
Wow.
So, and he reached people in his market, not just, you know, when you go to those home shows, sometimes you meet people from, you know, 50 miles south, 50 miles north. So you have the targeting capabilities that are very powerful. Number 3, online reviews are trusted more than ever. Like it or not, Yelp is not going away. Who has a Yelp story in here? Anybody? I got a Yelp story. Anybody got a bad story about Yelp? I got a few. Seems like the biggest problems that businesses have with Yelp are people who never even did business with them. You know, maybe not a fake customer, maybe somebody who called you up and wanted you to do something completely ridiculous and you said, sorry, we don't do that. And then they decided to go on Yelp and leave a bad review. So,
the customer also gets confused who they talk to. If you have a broad market, like we do handyman at the beach.
sure.
They don't remember whether it was Yellow Man Handyman or Joe the whoever.
Right.
If they've had a bad experience and they hit, oh, I think that was them.
Yeah.
They didn't call me back. So
Yeah.
I've got several of those and said, I'm sorry, I've never talked to you.
Yeah,
You must have gotten this wrong, goofed up.
We do see that as well. So, so here's the facts. 84% of people now trust online surveys as much as personal recommendations, which is pretty high. And finally, 74% of people say positive reviews will make them trust a local business more. So it's pretty powerful. It's not going away.
That's the hard part, is getting people to write positive reviews. When you're pissed off, you're motivated, and
Yeah,
when you're happy about it, you're like, I'm just gonna go on about my day.
exactly, exactly. So here's why reviews are important. Reviews are important. So we were talking about Google earlier, and Google search, and I mean, let's face it, Google is the, you know, million-pound gorilla in the room. Everybody uses Google to search for stuff. Well, so there's 2 types of searches people do for businesses. There's a branded search where they're actually searching for you or your brand name, and then there's a generic search where they're searching for your service and maybe a location addition to it. If they're doing a branded search, and that branded search happens a lot if, let's say you know, I had a friend who recommended you and gave me your card, right? So I may or may not dial the number and call you. I might go online and Google you first, and then Google your name. And a lot of people do that, right? So that's a branded search. It's a very common way that people look. And the reason reviews are important is when they do a branded search, even if they don't include the word reviews in the search, your reviews still show up here. So I was searching for this particular dentist. Now, full disclosure, that's my brother-in-law. Do a lot of work with him. But his Yelp showed up here. His Google reviews showed up here, and now what's showing up down here is actually the Facebook reviews. They're starting to show up on this Google My Business page. Is what
Those ones down there are Yelp?
This is Yelp.
Oh, I thought that was Google too.
No, this one is Yelp,
Oh.
and then this one is the Google reviews. But like I said, the Facebook reviews are starting to show up there
So
as well.
is there a platform like a Hootsuite, you know, where you do multiple social media things that's on the review side?
Yes, yes.
Where it'll populate out to all these, instead of having the customer go to Yelp and then go to Google and then go to this and then go to that?
Let's go through what I got to show you, and then it'll be a little more clear. So everybody understands the value of this, right? This these branded searches, you know, there's all this stuff happening here. So the other thing is of course this is oh, I forgot to change the thing. This was a generic search, dog groomer reviews, so ignore what I had on the title there. This was just a generic one, and you could see if you search reviews, and I look at a lot of Google search patterns, a lot, because I do a ton of Google AdWords work and other stuff. Reviews is used a lot, and so then you're always going to get, you know, the stars. This is Yelp, this is Yelp. And I don't know what it is about Yelp, but they have figured out a way to get all of their listings shown on the Google search results really well. So,
I didn't know that.
and this new one starting to show up is Thumbtack. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. I'm starting to see that one show up.
I've used that too.
This bit, okay. The other thing is the reviews show up on the Google map listing. So if you search for business, you see that little 3-pack of the map, and then you see the thing like this. The reviews, they show up there as well. And Google actually uses the proximity of the business to the search criteria you used and the number of positive reviews the business has to actually show up in this little 3-pack here.
So you don't see dentists with 1.0 on that list?
You may sometimes. Google keeps changing the algorithm,
Okay.
so, but generally not. Generally not. So now this is one that a lot of people don't know about, but you know, if you're using an iPhone, Apple Maps shows Yelp reviews. So if somebody's using the plain old, I never use Apple Maps, I use the Google Maps and all that for ways, but a lot of people don't, like my mom, she doesn't know any better, so she would just use Google Map or Apple Map. And if she did a search on Apple Map, it shows Yelp listings. So again, that's it's really important to manage your reviews. So this is a solution that we offer, and there's others out there. So I'm not going to say that this is a good solution. I believe we've been selling it for about 3.5 years now.
That's the one I want.
This is a local auto repair store. So we use a thing called a funnel, a review funnel. So what we do is we solicit reviews from every customer, all right? So we hand out, we give the business some business cards to hand out that actually have the link to the funnel on it. There's a email platform that we have that will send drip email to customers. We have a texting platform as well that will send a link to the mobile review. So we're trying to get everybody to give a review of the business. And some people would say, well, that's, you know, I'd rather just have people who are happy about my business give a review. But that's not, that's, the problem is that you don't even know who's happy or not, really. You know, you could go to a job, you thought it went well, or your person thought it went well, and then next thing you know, there's like a bad review on it.
Well, I have customers also that said, yes, I would like to put it in, and I'll send them an email saying, here's a link
Yep.
to the Yelp review thing, and
Yep.
nothing.
The one thing we found is that you really need to hit customers multiple times in terms of getting it. And it takes a while, and it also takes education for the people that are actually doing the work as well. The best time to hand them that little card that we give out, and it's a really nice little glossy card. It kind of looks like a credit card. It's got nice rounded edges on it, super glossy. Is right at that moment where they say, thanks for doing a great job. Like that's, you know, would you mind giving us a review? And you can hand them the card and then follow it up with an email. Websites, reviews, AdWords, social marketing, call source tracking and text messaging and reporting. Sir?
Did you invent reviews of us, or of?
Yes,
that
I
yours?
own that domain, yes.
And the product behind it, you created that from scratch?
We work with another company on that. So, whoops, I guess I jumped ahead here. So there is, I did want to make sure that we introduced Kelly back here, who is your MSA
Yes, I am an MSA.
and
just
a
one.
Google AdWords person and online marketing for all of you. And did you want to say something about Google AdWords?
Just that I'm available to manage your account for you. I can do what you can't do because you're out working. It's a long-term investment. There's a lot of tweaking, monitoring, how does that work, and let's tweak it. And so that's what I can do. I'm not an expert, but there's lots to learn daily, and I'm doing that. So I am available for that. So.
Have you done much split testing with since you're watching everybody's accounts and figuring out what works better and what doesn't?
Some. There's not a lot that are connected to get those
Top
comparisons.
question for you.
Yeah.
What's split testing?
Try and add A versus add B.
Yeah,
You know,
A/B test.
just different wordings.
Like
and
everything's the
stuff.
same except the title, and then which one?
Yeah, the cool thing is Google has some built-in stuff in AdWords that automatically does that as well. So it automatically optimizes for you. Yeah, so you can do like 3 ads per ad group, and then it'll optimize, or you can just run them on a straight rotation, and then you can go in and look at the results yourself and then figure out what works best. So to Kelly's point about doing AdWords, one thing that I would want to mention, we've talked about 3 things that are obvious in online marketing trends. I didn't really talk about Google AdWords, but frankly, outside of having a website, Google AdWords is the most cost-effective advertising you can do online, because you are hitting people when they have that intent. They are searching for you and your products and services. You want to be sure that you're the one showing up there. So we're a huge proponent of Google AdWords. We manage over $70,000 a month in budgets for all the different companies, and it's a great way to go, especially for service area businesses. I'm assuming all of you are service area business, so it's very effective for that as well. So are there any other questions?
I'll give a testimonial for Kelly. For the first 6 months last year, we inherited a Google AdWords campaign, and we spent time on the phone with the Google people. And every time I talked to the Google guy and we would tweak it, I found that next month my price was, about $300 or $400 more.
They want you to spend more
It was
money.
a lot more. Oh, that's that. And so they kept tweaking it up, and so we introduced Kelly into it. I don't even know, 3 months ago, something like that, 3 or 4 months ago. And she created this other sort of campaign,
Yeah.
and it's been as effective and much lower price, or actually I think more effective even. So if you haven't done it, get Kelly on your team,
Yeah, and
on your Google AdWords team.
And do not
Make her your team, actually.
Do
Just
not
end it there.
do not ever do Google AdWords Express. That is a great way to lose money really quick. I'll give you a quick story. One of my clients did it. They had a window and door shop. They're a big Anderson window dealer. And they called me up and they said, we don't even know if this thing's working. We spent like $4 grand on this thing in 5 months.
Ugh.
we don't know if we got any new business or not, so take a look at it. So I went and looked at their campaign and I said, well, I think I see your problem here. And it was a father-son, the son had set it up, the father owned the business. And I said, so you guys do Windows installation? You go, yeah, we do. And I said, so you paid about $2,000 for Microsoft Windows installation. So we added a couple negative keywords. Microsoft, MS, you know, Win 7, Win 8 was right around that time when Windows 7 was big. And I for a while there, I thought the dad was going to have a problem with the son, but they've been a client ever since. So that was because they were using AdWords Express, which is it's a great way for Google to make money, but it's not good for business, generally speaking. So, any other questions?